with it. That's what it is. And we've been abusing our bodies, so especially men. We've been abusing our bodies. And then we say we want virgins. Brother, man, you got to stop jumping in the bed with every woman if you want a virgin. You want the woman to be chaste, but you not chaste. That don't make no sense to me. So this is the current condition that we have today with the young people dating and marriage and stuff like that, to where everything is just a constant fight now with one another. The black man can't get along with the black woman. The black woman can't get along with the black man. It's blah, blah. We back and forth.
If y'all stop talking about our hair all the time.
It got nothing to do with the hair.
They don't want you to wear wigs.
Yeah, it don't have anything to do with the hair.
Makeup, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Why don't y'all just worry about y'all fat bellies?
Listen, the condition is not the hair. The condition is the mind, right? If I say something as a husband and a father, and my wife is just, belligerent and disobedient to what I'm asking to be done, that's called infidelity. Infidelity has nothing, it's not a physical thing all the time. Infidelity is in the mind, right? You got a daughter, and you tell your daughter, well, look, you can't go out looking like that right there. And then she want to get upset and backbite and argue and stuff like that. That's called infidelity. So we've done a terrible job of raising our young men and our young women. We haven't taught them anything, because the truth is that we haven't kept God in our consciousness. We haven't kept him in our heart.
So spirituality is another thing. If you have, like when we first got married, 1985, I was married, so, man, that's a long time. Like, I was taught things at home, like when you make your man a plate, you make the plate presentable to him. You bring him the plate and make the appearance of the plate to where he's like, oh, it looks so good, Just don't throw it on there any old kind of way. You keep yourself up, which is a struggle in general for me, to keep yourself up. Like, you don't let yourself gain 300 pounds. You go out in public looking presentable, without a bonnet.
Hello.
You don't always, ain't nobody saying you gotta always be made up and drop dead gorgeous everywhere you go, but you are a representation of him and he is a representation of you. So if I walk around with some Daisy Dukes and y'all young folk don't know what Daisy Duke shorts are, look it up, because
booty shorts.
It's some old women out here still wearing Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
We went to a graduation. One of my nephews graduated. Congratulations, JoJo.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm just saying, there was a lot of women that was really dressed for the occasion, but it was like, probably if I had that sort of body, I still wouldn't dress that way. I never would dress that way.
No, you have never dressed like that. And besides,
you have to have a certain kind of body to dress a certain kind of
I
way.
don't give a listen. Hey. You see some of these women out here.
Now I may have to get up and give myself a break from this bench here.
They don't have those type of bodies, but they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about that. It's about infidelity. The consciousness that you have. I have never had that problem with her. Besides, I wouldn't be wanting to let my woman go around dressed no any kind of way anyway. Let. I will not let you be going around anywhere like that.
What you was gonna do?
What you mean what I don't do? I don't know what I would have done, but there's just certain things that's just not.
He's never hit me, you guys. He's like never ever put his hands on me, but he like would hold me down, like squeeze me and all that old stuff. But there's been times that I deserved it. I can't even lie. I deserved it. You deserved it too.
I deserved it.
You still deserve it sometimes.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
No, you don't be putting your hand on no grown person, especially y'all women out here thinking y'all can fight men. Good luck. I hope they knock you flat on you.
Well, some of the women can. Some of them can.
These men be getting their ass whooped out there.
Some of them can. I mean, but it's not in mass. It's rare. that stuff like that can actually happen, is because you can take an untrained man, if he got in his mind that he gonna do something to you, you can try all your karate all you want to. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't work like they think that it does. You know, I'm gonna knock you out. These women gonna. You seen some of these clips that these women are getting themselves knocked out?
I don't like get into watching all that. Get beat down, especially if it's us. If it's black women out there fighting and acting a fool, I don't indulge in that. And I'm not giving y'all no views for that ignorant stuff.
It's not the black women.
I don't want to see none of that.
It's not just the black women.
Tearing me up.
Is it?
Something bit me.
Where?
Get off of me.
Beetle.
No, we have a hard time. I have a hard time. He used to staying on track, but like I said, we was married in 1985, and he immediately went to the military. And at that time, I was saved, as my daddy used to say. He said, "Yeah, you ain't no saved. What you saved from?" So I went in to a marriage, calling myself saved, into the religious stuff, trying to go to church. And he used to tell me, he said, "You fasted, you mean?" He used to say, "How you fasted and you still mean? How you still go to church and you still mean?" So I used to tell him, "Why don't you go to church and teach me how? Then if you think you know how to be so holy, why don't you go?" He did too. So I used to tell him that he act like he was saved. He act like he was a saved person even when he wasn't saved. That's because he has just a huge heart. A huge heart for people, and you're just naturally a God-given instinct just to be kind. And for me, I have to work at it a lot of times.
So it's like the song, "Is you is, or is you ain't."
You gonna sing the song?
I don't really know the song like that. Or is you ain't.
My baby.
But
is my baby done found somebody new.
Religion is in your heart. God is in your heart. So I don't need to go to church for anything. I don't need to go to some religious assembly for something like that. And that's what I mean. Is you is or is you ain't. It's in your nature. Whatever, that the environment, your parents, your grandparents, your community, the environment that you grew up in is what kind of develops you in that. So it's like, you can go to church all day long, and you can talk about the good Lord all you want to too, but it's your actions that really prove what you're saying. Because
actions speak louder than words.
I look at what you're saying, I look at what you're doing, and most of the time what people say about religion doesn't really add up.
It don't really line up.
No.
It really doesn't.
So your religion is in vain. Your belief is in vain. If you believe something, that means you don't know. I don't believe anything.
You don't believe anything?
I do not believe in God.
He recently told me that my religion is no religion.
My religion...
He said to me that my religion is no religion. Because I don't profess any kind of religion. And that being because I think it's difficult to try to stay in that realm and this rule, that rule, this rule. Can we just love each other? Can we just love each other and show love? And the greatest of these is charity.
No, the greatest of these love, is charity. Which is charity. This is love, yeah. But the thing is that, can you do that?
Hell no. Sometimes
can you do it?
Sometimes you can.
You see, that's what I mean. It's got to be. It's got to be
in me to live peaceably with all men.
It's got to be in here. Got to be in your heart. It's got to be. This is your heart, basically, not this thing that's pumping blood. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be cutting you off all the time.
If you are, I'm not paying attention.
Y'all
to
don't worry about it. Talking about I be cutting.
Why would it look so dark?
It's because of, I don't know. It's the background, I guess.
Anyways, it's got to be in your heart. See, we don't like to retain God in our heart, in our consciousness. So when we say love is a verb, like they used to say the word. It's actually really verb, which means it's an action thing. You got to do it. You can't say it. Do it. Say it, don't spray it.
So the difficulties in staying married for 39 years comes with the things that people don't really want to talk about. The fact that you could possibly stray. They say that, like, if you love me, you won't cheat, you won't look at other people, you won't desire other people. So, what, like, it's just difficult to talk about.
It is.
Like, there's no perfection in our marriage. There never has been any perfection in our marriage, and there's been a lot that happened. But so if he look at another woman now, I'm like, go ahead and look at her. I mean, if she's pretty, she's pretty. She can't help it if she's pretty. But as far as like desiring and wanting to have her and be with her, I probably would say go ahead. At this point, like at this point, I don't like have time. My leg hurt, okay? And my leg going to sleep.
Yeah.
Can you hold him down while I go to the tinkle tinkle?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to tell him before I leave though. So these are all things that we feel like kept us together for 39 years. And I'm going to just admit that really it was him, because if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't be together, because I left a few times in between. And our youngest son told me that you can't say you've been married that long because you left Dad a couple times. So.
But we never got divorced.
I was working on it. I was working on it.
In your mind. In your mind.
All right, I'll be back.
Yeah.
Don't put that camera on me.
Well, let's see. A couple things I think that she said, like the word desire. Not a good word in actuality. Desire means to control or to have. You know, you want to control somebody, right? That's like possession almost. So that's what I mean, that I think we've been bamboozled about what marriage really is, what love really is. So we have these struggles about love and marriage. But marriage is like a war almost. It's like somebody explained it to me before. It's like marriage it's a beautiful thing, but it's like a bed of roses, right? And when you get hit with those thorns, that stuff hurts. Okay, but it's a momentary thing, and you gotta work through the pain. And a lot of our pain that I think that we're suffering in a marriage is because we have these ideas that are not true. And when those ideas are destroyed, it's painful. And if you can work through that, you'll start learning how to love that person, because truly you're learning to love yourself. I don't think we've been taught to love ourselves yet, not even properly, you know what I'm saying? My mom, she tried to take us to church and stuff like that, and I didn't really like church.
Leave it where it is.
Yeah, I got to turn it for you. You're gonna be out of the picture. To do. I was saying that, you know, I think my mom, she did the best that she can do. Of course, you know, my dad had passed away, right? I didn't really have any of the men in the family to come and help me and teach me anything like that. I just saw what they did, and the things I saw them doing I didn't like, so I decided not to do those things. So anyways, it wasn't, the church couldn't teach me, you know what I'm saying? My mom did the best she could. I learned some lessons from her very early on about controlling your anger and stuff.
Let's see what that noise was. Controlling your anger.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good, because you probably would have been killed me, right?
No, I probably would have never made it to you.
You'd been dead.
I'd have probably.
Remember that time that police officer put that gun in your face?
Yeah, he pointed at the back of our head.
Our? Who's our?
Yeah, it was me and Milton Hunter.
Why you calling the man name, bro?
So,
He probably
well,
dead
yeah.
anyway.
No, Milton Hunter is not dead. That brother's still around. He doing well too.
That changed you, and the Scared Straight.
Scared Straight didn't help me out.
You went to jail.
Yeah, you can say so. Yeah. Scared Straight didn't help me out. That stuff
But you
that
went to jail at what? How old?
I don't know. I was what, maybe 16 years old or something
Put
like
no
that at
kids
the
in
time.
jail at 16, do they? Jail?
Well, it wasn't jail. I mean,
That hurt?
it was. Hold on, I can turn it the other way. It was called Scared Straight. It was a program that they had on television back in the day. I had to come out from over here like that. Oh, okay. Whew.
I think a sense of humor is important too in a marriage. Like, we joke around a lot. I joke around probably too much, but and to you women, I don't even necessarily know if this is advice. It's just how we stay together. Like I said, he's just a father figure, and he's a friend, and he's just naturally kind. You should be looking for that. If you want a man that's a gangster, you're probably not gonna get no kind man. I mean, the chances is he's gonna have that gangster personality throughout life.
Yeah, it's a
We're having a hard
possibility.
time sitting on this cement out here. We wanted to show y'all this beautiful park
Yeah.
out here.
All right, I'm gonna sit back down. It's a
I'm gonna show you the
possibility.
water later.
Yeah.
You said what now? So, people who are looking to be married, I would say you shouldn't even be looking to be married. You should be looking for a partner to be able to have a successful financial life, and you should be working towards things that you want in life, not necessarily marriage. If I had met you and know what I know now at 19, and we had the ability to collaborate and say, well, we want 2 houses, we want 2 cars, we want 2 kids, we want to be able to travel, we probably didn't even need to be married. As long as we could combine our income together and keep a job, unlike I did. I was fired a lot.
Well, marriage is not always about
He
living in
one
the
who-
same household. That's not what marriage is always about. That's what we've been taught. Yeah, we've been taught that crap, that we got to live together to be married. That's not true. She touched a little bit on about
You need to drink more than that. See, I'm a mother.
desire and stuff like that, or other women or other men. It's not, in other words, it's not a natural order for a woman to be doing those things. Not that it can't be done, and not that they don't do it. It's just they just have different consequences than what we do as a man.
In your physical body, and in your mental state as well.
Your mental state, your spiritual state,
Giving of yourself.
your body.
You might as well have that. You put your big hips
It destroys. Now you don't give it to me and then
I'm
one
just
time.
playing. No, because your
Yeah.
throat seems scratchy. I'm just messing with you. That's the sense of humor. Hey, calm down, the birds out there.
Yeah. We've been taught a Western theology about marriage and love and stuff like that. So, there's for all you spiritual people now, don't get upset now. There's a
Spiritual.
yeah.
Not necessarily religious.
Yeah, you spiritual people, don't get upset, particularly you women. You know what I'm saying? Because the man, I know he gonna be all.
You on
But
his- you
but
on his
but
side.
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about no pimping and and all this old dumb stuff that we be talking about. But there is a scripture that says that in that day 7 women shall lay hold on one man and say, "Give us your name, and we make our own raiment." Because we got money, we got our own thing, we got our own spots. But what we need your name for the protection. See, the thing is that when you get ready to marry somebody, man or woman, it's important that they have a good family name. You know what I mean? We should be interviewing that man. We should be interviewing that woman and their family to see what their good reputation is, that they have a bad reputation or they have a good reputation, and are they consistent with those type of things like that. So this is where the fathers, when it comes to their daughters, come in at. We've been used to allowing our daughters to go out and just randomly pick some dude that she thinks she in love with. We got to stop doing that, because our daughters are way too precious, and they running into there's too many Ray Rays and Pookies out there right now.
Amen. Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So we cannot afford to be giving our daughters away like we used to do in the past. Just let them go out there and randomly be on their own. No, you bring that Negro home to me. You know, let me check him out. You know what I'm saying? Let me talk to the man. Let me get to know him. Right? I need to know his father. I need to know his grandfather, his grandmother. I need to know his people.
He ain't got no father.
Yeah. Somebody know him. You know what I'm saying? So I need to find out who this person is and what is your future looking like. You know what I'm saying? What do you plan on doing in the future?
Kind of like the Africans do, but they have a dowry.
Yeah, dowry, yes.
So I was given to you, but did you ask Daddy if you can marry me?
I did.
And then my brother gave me what did Daddy say? Be careful now. Watch it, sucker.
I don't remember what he said. I remember I was in the military at the time.
Did you call and ask him?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think he said that I wasn't ready.
Well, yeah, I think, yeah. If I can remember, that was kind of his words. Of course, we don't listen. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you're young, you got a whole lot of things talking to your body at the time.
What do you mean? A whole lot of things.
Yeah, you got
hormones.
Yeah, you got some things talking to your body at the time, so you're not really paying attention. You know what I'm saying?
Young women, you should never let. My mom taught me, your man shouldn't know when you're on your period, and he should not see any evidence of your period, and he should never see. Mom used to say the seat of your panties, so he should not be seeing your dirty panties. You know, you can take them and fold them and roll them up, or wash them on your hand. Get in the shower, wash it in the sink. And I know they don't want to see your panties hanging all over the place. Find you somewhere discreet. So.
Well, you remember.
Wash your drawers.
Yeah, remember when we got married, we had to go down to the county and take a blood test. Right? We had to go get test our blood. And I didn't understand it at the time, but they was like, well, this is to see if you're compatible by blood, because you can have issues in your pregnancy if you have two different blood types. You know, so that's part of that. That's just part of this, how I want to say, interviewing families, because you ever heard of like generational curses, right? These generational curses be in our families. And so we got to see, hey, do we want to deal with this here type of issue that they have? Like, I got to say this right here.
There's squirrels on here.
Yes.
They got squirrels in Arizona.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they got squirrels.
Shiny bone syndrome.
I grew up believing a certain thing about my father. And I'm damn near 60 years old now and find out that what they told me about my father was a lie. Okay? A straight up lie. And that puts a consciousness, a spirit is attached to you through that genealogy. And you'll live your life out that way, you know what I'm saying, until that thing's corrected. And that's what I mean by generational curses. Every family has it. And then when we crossbreed into other, nationalities of people, it gets even worse, because we don't know what those people did in times past. You think that stuff is going away? No, it doesn't. It passed. Listen, this is why we don't understand spiritual things. The scripture says that the sins of the fathers and mothers shall pass into the third and fourth generation, right? And you say that you don't carry the sin of your father and your mother. Yes, you do. You do carry the sin of your father and your mother, right? You may not do what they've done, but you was created by a certain energy. Let's say you married your mother married a man who is a sleazeball. You know what I'm saying? He's a molester.
He'd be dead too.
Hopefully he would be. However, most of our women are not doing that. They allowing these men to go on doing what they're doing, even to their own children and stuff like
Acting
that.
like y'all don't be knowing them men, what kind of men you got.
You be knowing.
Well, if you need a babysitter that bad, I don't know what to say, man.
You be knowing.
Go get a welfare check or something. I don't know what to say.
You be knowing. And sometimes be the fathers and the grandfathers
And
and
women
uncles.
too.
Yeah, it'd be the women too. They do it too.
Lie,
I'm sorry. Yeah, the women do it too. Men are not the only ones, and sometimes I almost think women are worse.
I think he's right on that because, well, it's hard to say, but women can be pretty evil. We got some pretty conniving ways, and you know, I can speak for women because I'm one. You think that you're sneaky, but you really ain't. People see you. God see you. Mm-hmm. And what's done in the dark will come to
Always
the light.
come to the light. And sometimes it comes through your children or through your grandchildren. You think that you done hid a thing, you know what I'm saying? And then 20, 30 years later, it shows up in your children, your grandchildren, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you be looking at them, why they be acting the way they acting and stuff like that? Because you was like that. That's why. That spirit has transferred from you to them. It may not show up in your child directly, but it may show up in your grandchild, right? Some years later, 3rd, 4th generations down the line, you know. And now we sitting around looking stupid, and it's like there's a movie out there, you know, it's really old. It's called JD's Revenge, and
Look it up. You can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can think that you hidden something, right? And 30 years, 20 years, 30 years, sometimes 40 years later, that stuff pop right back up. And then we start to find out who you really are. You know what I'm saying? The things that you've done in your past, you know, it comes to find you. So, for instance, I remember asking my mom here not too long ago.
His mom died.
Yeah, she passed away April the 7th, on my brother's birthday.
I did a video on her before she passed, too.
Yeah.
I got to learn how to link the videos. But she gave, I'm sorry, but she gave a vital message to her children 2 years before she passed. Like, she knew she was going to be cutting up out of here soon. You could tell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
You lost track of what you were saying.
No, I didn't lose track.
You're always talking about I be cutting him off. That's what you do when you get married. When you've been married a long time. He know how my mind operate. He might not know everything I'm thinking, but he know that I'm pretty sporadic. Yeah. And if he didn't have the patience that God gave him, I probably would have been slapped down a lot of times, I guess.
It didn't bother me, and I didn't lose track. What I was going to say is that I asked my mom a certain question. We was talking, and I asked her if she ever seen this movie called JD's Revenge, and she said, no, I never heard of that before. And I'm like, Mom, you know, you must didn't realize what your son was doing. I used to go to the movies every weekend, all day long. We had two theaters right down the street from one another. I would go from one theater to the other theater, and the movies
South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend, Indiana. Yeah, so the movies were only like sometimes it was 50 cents, or sometimes it was $1. So I would stay out there all day watching movies. But JD Revenge was one of the movies that I watched. And I was telling my mom, I said, look, Mom, you were sending your son out to the wolves. You had no idea what I was watching out there. And, you know, for whatever was going on in her life, I don't know. But I asked her a question. It wasn't a question. I was telling about, I was in 7-Eleven one time. And there was a man in there. And when he saw me, he looked like he had saw a ghost. You know what I'm saying? And he was actually calling me Lewis, which is my father. And this man damn near jumped out of the window getting out of that 7-Eleven. And I mean, he was falling down and everything. And I thought to myself, well, what did this man do right here that he would respond to me like that? I'm about, 17 years old at the time. I was 17 years old, and this man literally broke his neck getting out of that store and falling
Darian
down.
looks just like his grandfather too.
Yes.
So, you know, I'm back, as JD said. I'm back.
So the
I'm
thing
back.
is what transpired between him and my father that would make him respond to me like that right there. You know what I'm saying? So the sins of the fathers and the mothers return comes back up into the third and fourth generations. You know, so there's a particular thing that I don't want to say, but there was an auntie of mine, right, that I really never did care that much for. And I asked my mom one day, I said, whatever happened to her? And she always, she died of cancer a long time ago. And I said, good. Good. And my mom said, why would you say something like that? I said, because you know what I'm talking about, Mom. You know, I didn't know what I was actually saying at the time. I really didn't know. But that's what came out. Yeah, that's what came out of my mouth. You know what I'm talking about, Mom. She got what she deserved. And I left it alone. And I didn't think no more of it until a couple of weeks ago, right? I went to my mom's tribute for her passing. And I got a hold of some documents. And then I don't know why I said what I said. The sins of the fathers and the mothers will show up into the third. That here it is. This happened when I was like 9 years old, maybe 10 years old at the time. But when I got a hold of this particular document, that day came right back, just like that. Like I could see the whole thing. I'm like, that's why I said what I said. So it was like JD's revenge. You know what I'm saying? When I say, you know what I'm talking about. That wasn't me that said that. That was that spirit of God.
So what about, like, in a marriage when a person is a spender and unwise and another person is the earner and making good money? Like, that can be a big problem too.
Can.
So that's what I was saying. I don't even necessarily support marriage per se. I think if you can have some kind of contractual agreement with somebody, then
I think that would be better.
I'll get married if I want to,
she did have
I'm
a
just
spending
saying,
problem for a while.
I know he ain't talking.
Yeah, I sure did.
500 pairs of shoes.
Well, no, I'm talking about when we was much younger. But then, but she just got control of it though.
Well, it only took me 30-something years.
Well, what I did is we had to get our own bank accounts. I took you off my bank account for a while. Probably for about a year or something like that. And then all of a sudden it's just like, bam, she changed all of a sudden. And I never had a problem ever since then. You know, I can give her my card and I can trust her with my card, and you know, I don't have no problems with her, you know what I'm saying? So it's been...
So finances is a key to marriage.
Yes.
Like, you can say, oh, I love you all day long, but if I'm hungry, I don't give a shit about what... I don't care nothing about no love. If I'm hungry,
I never
the
really
lights
had
is
that
off
problem
and we ain't got nowhere to live, forget that.
Yeah, we never had that type of problem. Occasionally we had some things happen, but most of the time stuff was out of our control. But yeah, I never had that problem with her. I never had a problem with her with cleanliness, you know, the house being junky. I never had a problem with, you know, her looking any kind of way. No, so she was always, yeah. So she always kept herself up.
Sneaking up on you.
You know, they got their chairs and stuff like that. So they sitting out there somewhere. There's somewhere to sit out there. But yeah, so she's always done that. Kept things up pretty, you know, neat and clean. So I never had that issue. It was just, you know, other things, minor things and stuff like that. Growing pains, you know what I'm saying?
So I don't know, have we given you guys some of the tips that we had
What's on here?
To stay married for 39 years? Probably kind of sporadically we did. We talked about finding a person who's mature and that is more of a nurturer and supporter. Like, you should be looking for that. I think you definitely don't want nobody who is a gangster.
They need to have a God consciousness, for sure. They don't have to go to church, or they don't have to be a part of the mosque or anything like that. It's just that you need to have a God consciousness. You know, you need to love yourself. Because when, like, it's true, when you do love yourself, it's easy to love other people. Even if you're having a difficult time with them. Because it's really, I want to say it's really God that you love so much. That God in you. You know what I'm saying? You love that God, that connection more than you love anything else. And therefore, if you have that, whatever that mate does to you that you don't like or you feel like was wrong or something like that, you work through it. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna walk and show y'all where they're fishing over there.
Yeah.
So I think this will be safe. Let's walk over there and show them this is I think this is Coon's Bluff.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see.
No coon.